evening. Here is top news newsletter, starting with the headlines. Syrian army kills more terrorists in several areas. Hezbollah operation on Israeli convoy received wide praise. Moscow consultative meeting resumes. Units of the army and armed forces continue to launch intensive military operations against terrorist organizations across the country, inflicted heavy losses upon them, including field leaders. Army units killed a large number of terrorists and injured scores of others, including field leader linked to the so-called Islamic Front terrorist organization, in a special operation that targets a number of their gathering south of Jabal al-Zawiya in the countryside of northern province of Idlib. Units of the army and armed forces killed terrorists and injured others in Sharsouh, Al-Rastan, and Talbisia area in Homs countryside. Lebanese, Arab and regional political parties held the huge operation carried out by the Islamic resistance of Hezbollah in the occupied Shaba farms in retaliation for the Zionist aerial raid that targeted Hezbollah convoy in Syria's Al-Qunaitira 10 days ago. Al-Qunaitira honorable martyrs group in the Islamic resistance attacked the Israel military convoy in the Lebanese occupied Shaba farms, consisting of a number of vehicles and Zionist soldiers and officers, by firing appropriate rockets, Hezbollah said in a statement shortly after the operation. For its part, the Lebanese Ministry of Foreign Affairs sternly condemned the Zionist bombing of Lebanon, which came in response to the resistance operation. Palestinian resistance movement of Hamas praised the military operation Hezbollah conducted against the Israeli military convoy in the occupied Shaba farms. This response to the crimes of the Israeli occupation forces is a legitimate right for the resistance in its fight against terrorism and the hostility of the occupation forces, the movement indicated in the statement. The Islamic Action Front, Al-Fajr Movement, Al-Murabitun, and the Syrian Social Nationalist parties also held Hezbollah retaliation. Today, the delegation of the Syrian Arab Republic and the opposition figures resumed meetings in Moscow within Moscow preliminary consultative meeting. Sources from Moscow reported that every small group of opposition figures presents its own paper and no agreement so far among them on a joint paper. 3 rounds of discussions were held on Wednesday between the delegation of the Syrian government and that of the opposition figures in the framework of the Russian-hosted consultative meeting in the Russian capital Moscow. Closed-door meetings that brought together representatives of many opposition factions were held last Monday and Tuesday as a part of Russian-sponsored meetings, which, according to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, seek to provide the path and forum for discourse and discussions with the representatives of the Syrian government. Late North Korean leader Kim Jong-il repeatedly pushed for a summit talks with South Korea before his 2011 death, but Pyongyang demanded $10 billion and large-scale shipments for food and fertilizer, a former South Korean president said. Ex-President Lee Myung-bak said its part provided to reporters in advance that senior intelligence officials from the two Koreas made secret visits to the rival countries to explore summit possibilities in 2010 after 2 attacks planned on Pyongyang killed 50 South Koreans. That's all for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Inas Ahmad. Good night.